Alright, what's up guys? It's your boy Capo here, and in today's video we're going to be jumping into standing up a FiveM server in 2025. This is going to be a series of just moving on from the start to finish. I'm going to show you guys how to stand up the server, install an inventory, install some of the most popular EMS and police jobs, and then from there, possibly even show you some of the inner workings and things like that that I've learned over the past few years. And just myself, just being a senior engineer, also having a background in software development, I'll show you some of the tools that I use in the industry to help manage your FiveM server, right? And we'll get into the logistics of all of that in the future, but that's kind of what this series is about. So I'm not going to sit here and talk you guys' head off. Let's jump right into it. All right, so first things first, we need to go and grab our FiveM server artifacts. So if you go into Google, if you're following along, you can do FiveM server artifacts. It's going to be this first link here, runtime.fivem.net. That's the official server artifacts. I will also have these links pasted down below with the actual guide of how to carry this out as well, just to make sure things are easier for you guys. However, back to the server artifacts. Server artifacts are basically the latest updates that FiveM makes to their core framework. So it's basically the backbone. And from there, if GTA 5 is updated, the server artifacts updates are going to allow you to get, the newest DLC packs. Also, they contain bug fixes as well as performance optimizations. So it's always good to keep up to date on your server artifacts. So here we can see we have one from 5/26/2025 at 16:11. So that's the one that we're going to download here. Should be a quick download. Once that's downloaded, you're going to get a zip folder called server. So the first thing I do anytime I have my server artifacts of building servers, I go out and create a new folder and I will give it the name of my server. So I'm gonna name mine test server. Right. So now if we go down to downloads, I have my server artifacts here. Definitely, if you're looking for a tool to use to actually zip and compress, WinRAR is by far one of the best ones out there. It's super fast to do this, so I recommend that, and that's what I'm using in this video. So now if you right click and click extract here, I should have created a folder and called it server first, so that's my bad. I was kind of wanted to extract it into its own folder. So what we're gonna do is select one of these, hit Control A, and then Control C, and then actually Control A, Control X, because we want to cut these. Create a new folder, and we're just gonna name it server in all lowercase. All right. So then you have that. So now in your test server, you have the main server, which is the name or the main folder of the server, and then you have the server file. So we're good to go from here. So now the main application you're going to run or want to run is this FXServer.exe. This is going to launch the entire server installation GUI. So I'm not going to run this as of yet because we need to download some things. So if we go and open a new window, we want XAMPP. So this is going to allow our server to communicate with the database. So I'm looking at these and I want 8.2.12, which is the latest version. So we're going to go ahead and download this. And this is automatically going to download, so just be cautious just clicking things on this screen. Just a bunch of ads. All right, so now we have that. Don't don't mind that. So there's some things in here that you really don't need, and for me, I don't need FileZilla, Mercury, Tomcat, Perl, PHP.admin. I don't need any of this stuff. I just need MySQL. So I'm gonna install XAMPP on my C drive. Well, the folder is not empty, because I had another one up here. So let's do this. If this is your first time downloading this, you will not run into this problem. So me, I had another server on here. So there you have it. You can place that there. And for me, I host all of my servers, so I don't, go to Zap hosting or somewhere that is going to need me to use FileZilla to transfer files. And I can show you some of my servers that I actually host myself. And if you're curious about that process, I can stand up another server and walk you through how to, set up RDC man, remote into your server, and just run your FiveM server from there. And it's essentially going to be the exact same thing for running a FiveM server locally. So here we have it. Apache is installing, which is good. All right, so yeah, we're gonna start the control panel. So in this control panel, what you have here is you have your Apache and your MySQL. So Apache is like hosting it's kind of like IIS in a way, where you can host like web applications and etc. I really don't think it's needed for the FiveM server, but it could be incorrect. However, I'm gonna run it anyways. The main thing we care about is MySQL, because that's going to allow us our FiveM server to communicate with the database. So now we have MySQL installed. We need a SQL IDE. So we're gonna use HeidiSQL. So let's see. Let's go to downloads. We want the Windows installer, so you can click this one here, Windows 64. And you can just go ahead and install this. And we're gonna send this to the C drive as well for test purposes. You can move this anywhere. Create example SQL snippets. We don't care about that. Automatically check HeidiSQL for updates. Automatically report server. Yeah, so we can leave these two checked. These two, we really don't care. Actually, for SQL files, we'll associate with Heidi, so we can use that. We don't really care about the snippets. So we can go ahead and launch this as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and close these windows down, don't need them. Create a new tab, leave that up. So then you have your databases. So now you can see, if you click open, you have MySQL, you have your PHP.admin database, and you have a test database. All of these are just stood up in MySQL for you to use, really not important. So now we can go back and run our FiveM server. So let's see, close that, let's go to test, server. So I like to run this as an admin. So this is gonna come up because it's not an authorized app by Microsoft. It's fine, just run anyway. So as this comes up, this is gonna be the console, server-side console, by the way. And then you'll see your public IP address and your local host. So you can see here, this is how you can actually control your server through your local host and port 4120. So I link my account. And Discord ID. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to take a look at my Discord ID. So change me, we're just gonna name it test server, or and from here, like I said, if you have an existing server, you can set that up. But in this case, we're trying to create a new server. So we're going to select popular recipes. So the ones that we really care about in this case is going to be the QBCore framework. This is also QBCore, but this uses Ox. If you ask me, I would probably run QBox, just as a later, or the latest optimized framework. It's pretty badass, but not a lot of scripts are converted to work with it. Although it should have backwards compatibility with QBCore. QBCore is just advanced though. So we're just gonna go with that one. ESX is pretty good too. So like I said, in the future, as you guys continue to send recommendations, we can choose either or. So here you have your path of where it's going to go, and then also you notice the name of the actual server is QBCore 368 BAE.base, and that's going to be the name of the database as well. So we can go to the recipe deployer. Here goes the config. This is just going to be default. Then we want to hit enter. So now I need a license key. So I'm not going to show you guys this on my screen, or I might. Give me 1 second. So I could blur it out. Right. So as you can see here, we have this. So I'm gonna create a new server. Not a robot test. Capo test server. So we're gonna create a new one and we're gonna generate. So from here, that's my key, as you can see. And now if I go to my servers, you can see that it's here. So it's a one-time key, so make sure you copy it and paste it where you need it to be pasted, or it's not going to show up again for you. You would have to recreate it or create a new one. And these also can be deleted after their latest CFX update. So from there, in SQL, we left all of these parameters the same, but it is wise to go back and change, add in a database password, as well as change up the name of the username and etc. So that way people can't get a hold of the IP address or the server and remote into the box if they wanted to. This is just best practices to change, leave a password or etc. But for now, it's fine. So we're going to run the recipe, and this is going to start deploying. All right, let's see where we're at with this. So the server is stood up, and as you can see, we have our TX data. So now you can see that the folder structure is coming together. You have your server files, your artifacts here. And maybe we could have named this artifacts just for more clarity. And then you have the TX data where you have your server and all of the resources. So this is where your custom scripts and etc. is going to go here. And then from here, you have your logo. So if you wanted to change that out. And then you have your server CFG. So this is a IDE I'm using called Visual Code. I highly recommend you download this as well. I'll put the link in the description below, and this is going to help you navigate your way through your Lua scripts and also configs. So as you can see, everything is set up nicely here. And the server is now ready to start. Alright, so now server is up and running. You can see the actual config file here. I do not recommend moving this because also I've noticed in the past that when you scroll through this actual console, it can cause server hitches. So just minimize that. And if you need to view logs and etc., it's best to do it through the txAdmin console. So from here, let's go to FiveM.exe. And if I'm not mistaken, it should automatically detect the server on the local host. So as you see here, desktop, that's my computer, and I'm able to connect to the FiveM server. And just like that, server is ready. So from here, I will build on to the server. I'll add in QS inventory in the next video, show you how to actually install the inventory and bridge the whole inventory system to QBCore's inventory. And then also do some configuration and talk you through the actual configuration files and let you know what they do and etc. So from here, we've loaded into our apartment successfully. No crashes and etc. So now I can design my character in X, Y, and Z. Looks good. So if we just confirm, leave the apartment.
Oh, scumbag! What? I'm gonna knock some sense into you!
Send them to the gulag. Alright. So, if you made it this far, I appreciate you for watching the video. Good luck with your FiveM servers and stay tuned for the next one. And leave a comment down below as well as what scripts you would like to see installed. I've spent countless dollars on scripts and I may have it already in my arsenal. So feel free to let me know. So until next time, guys, peace.